Welcome to the 100 podcast. It's Ed and Charlie here with you. Hope you're well. Today, we're really excited to be joined by Emma Lamb of Lancashire and the Manchester Originals. Emma, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. We're very excited to have you here. Really excited.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not at all. So, Emma, you've been in amazing nick this year for the Northwest Thunder with bat and ball. Are you looking forward to taking that form into a brand new competition?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm very excited for this. I feel like I'm in good nick at the moment. Just hoping I can carry that through onto the 100. It's slightly different kind of format, similar to T20, but I'm hoping I can carry on what I've been doing. So yeah, I'm excited.
Good nick might be a bit of an understatement. I think, was it 3 T20 hundreds this year? I know 2 were in warm-ups, but one was in the Charlotte Edwards Cup against the Sunrisers. That was a pretty great inning. So I guess you must be feeling very much ready and prepared to take it on.
Yeah, well, I think that 100 is actually at Old Trafford as well. So all our home games are obviously there. I think 4 of them are at Old Trafford. So yeah, so I've got a bit of practice on that ground. So hopefully, don't know if I'll be able to do the exact same and get 100 in the 100. That'll be great. But
that'd be perfect, yeah.
I'm hoping so. We never know. I think it's going to be exciting, and I'm really excited for it. So.
Absolutely. I mean, it is kind of an entirely unknown quantity, really. Obviously, it's only 20 balls shorter, but there's new rules, there's new regulations. Have you been doing any specific preparation for the tournament? Have you kind of been looking at it in a different way? How have you gone about preparing for a format which is kind of a bit of a surprise and a bit of an unknown for everybody?
Well, we haven't actually started preparing yet because we've only just finished the last lot of games. So we're having a little break, but we're actually starting tomorrow. So I can't tell you. I think we're going to obviously discuss it as a group. To be honest, it's not that much different. It's still cricket. There's little rules that we'll have to think about. But we've had a warm-up game a few years ago when it was meant to happen last year. And to be honest, it wasn't that dissimilar. It was slightly different, but nothing massive. Still cricket at the end of the day. So yeah,
Sure, you've got a really good squad at Manchester Originals. It must be so exciting playing alongside the likes of Mignon de Pries, Harmanpreet Kaur, Lizelle Lee. That's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, I was saying I've literally been telling everyone that I'm so glad Lizelle Lee's on our team because I hate bowling at her. Honestly, she's the only person I hate bowling at. I just don't know how to get her out. When she gets going, it's incredible. It's so good to watch. I'm like, wow. So I'm glad she's on my team. It'll be interesting bowling her in nets. Won't make me feel great before a game, so I might avoid that. Yeah, I'm just glad. And Mignon as well. And Harman we've played with in the Kia Super League, so we know what she can do. I think we've got 3 best overseas from all the squads. I think we've got a very solid team.
You mentioned you play with Harmanpreet Kaur at Lancashire in the Kia Super League, and obviously you've played with a lot of the original squad before, the likes of Kate Cross, Alex Hartley, Ellie Threckle, Georgie Boyce, obviously Harmanpreet Kaur as well. It must be kind of pretty special to play on the national stage with people you know really well, with your mates, I guess, and especially in a tournament like this, which is, I guess, a step up in coverage. It must be pretty cool to take that leap with people you know well.
Yeah, definitely. I think most of our squad is Lancashire Thunder, Northwest Thunder, sorry. So it's kind of good that we've got that from that what's the word? Sorry, familiarization.
Familiarity.
Well, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
there we
that's
are.
the one.
And we know how each other work. We can bounce off each other when we're batting together. For example, me and Georgie Boyce work really well together. So if we bat together, then we know what's going to work and how we bounce off each other and stuff. So yeah, I think that kind of helps, and it's not like a massive new team. There's a few additional players like Cordelia Griffiths, who's from Sunrisers, and she's a great addition to have. So yeah, I'm really excited to play with a lot of my mates as well. So yeah.
When you're playing in a dressing room, I guess there's a lot of personalities flying around there. Who's the most annoying person that you're kind of got in the original side? You're a bit like, you love having them round, but they might get your nerves in a rain break.
No one gets on my nerves.
That's good.
Yeah, like I said, it's like quite a similar squad to the North West Thunder, and we all get along so well. Like they're all like my best mates. No one gets on my nerves. I think maybe Alex Hartley says a few things that makes me laugh. I just laugh at it. But I guess new people coming into the group might find it a little bit a bit too far. But like I find it funny, and it's just like the northern sense of humour. So if you're not from the north, then you might not get it. But like you start to understand it the more you're around her. Yeah, so it might be like little things like that, but no one gets on my nerves at all. No, it's all laughs.
That's good. And it's obviously a very strong side with Kate Cross, Alex Hartley, lots of England experience there. Obviously, with kind of playing in the 100 and the form you're in, do you feel that an England court might be close for you? Because it feels like that's something that might be on the brink.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been saying this to me, and it's always on my mind, but I guess it's not really down to me, is it? I mean, I'd love to pick myself and I'd love to play for England. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the only thing I can control is what I do on the pitch and scoring runs and taking wickets. So
obviously, as part of the Manchester Originals, you're going to be part of the very first ever 100 game. You've got to be really excited for that because that's going to be such a big spectacle.
So excited and a little bit nervous at the same time because obviously it's on TV. And yeah, very first game, literally everyone's going to be watching. Well, hopefully everyone. A lot of people will be watching. Yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, to be honest. I think I'm just going to try and enjoy it, and that's where I play my best cricket. So I think as long as we enjoy it, then it doesn't matter whether it's the first game or not. We play it like it's any other game. So
how much of an impact do you reckon that the 100's going to have on the women's game in general? Because you mentioned being on TV, and that's such a huge step, I think, for women's cricket.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely raise the profile, and it'll also introduce more like the younger generation. Like, I think it's mainly aimed at their kind of younger generation coming through and wanting to start playing cricket, and that's the Dynamo scheme that they have with the 100. That's kind of like linked, and I guess people that will go and do the Dynamo's cricket will just come and watch the 100. So I think it's definitely going to raise a profile, and also like playing on great grounds, like every single ground is on a big county ground, will make a big difference. And that's something we've noticed within the regional stuff, is when we play on a good ground like Old Trafford, it makes the game much more interesting, and high runs means a better game to watch. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good from that point of view.
Absolutely. It must be a really big step as well to, I guess, be on TV a lot. I know it's happened before with the Kia Super League, but is that something that the team are talking about, that it'll be much easier for friends and family and people like that to watch you on TV? That must be quite a surreal feeling.
Yeah, it is actually. Like, I think in the Super League, not every single game was on TV. I think it was only like 2 out of the whole, I think, 6 games that we played every year. So like having every single game, I think it'll feel more normal, and we'll start to forget about it. We'll forget that we're on TV and we'll just play. But yeah, definitely like loads of my like family will be watching, I hope. And I guess like people that I know that might just flick it on and be like, oh, they're playing, they'll just carry on watching it. I've had that in the past as well, like people that I know but don't really know me that well. So yeah, I think a lot of people watching that I know, and I hope new viewers will flick it on and give it a watch, because it'll still be entertaining.
With the squad you've got, obviously loads of England experience, loads of quality there. What are your kind of expectations for the Originals this season? Do you think you're one of the strongest sides in the competition?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm really confident with, like, I think a lot of our players are in form as well. Like, we've got Sophie Axton, who's obviously like best bowler in the world at the moment, so she's obviously in form. Kate Cross just come out of India series, took 5 for one of the games, in form, and then our overseas look in form. So I'm feeling very confident, and and I think like whatever like the batting lineup, like we'll still like do well, like bowling lineup. So yeah, I'm feeling very confident. I think we've got a very solid lineup.
Just on your bowling, I read recently that I think you've been working with Stephen Parry a bit to kind of work on your bowling. Obviously, we know how good a batter you are. Is that something that you're always trying to improve on?
Yeah, definitely. I think I count myself as an all-rounder. It's something I work on as much as my batting. I think over the this winter we've had is the best like work that I've actually done, because I've actually I've not had a one-to-one spin bowling coach like properly ever, and it's made such a big difference actually like working one-on-one, like specifically on my spin bowling. So yeah, it's something I'm always trying to work on, and I always get given the ball at some stage. So I think it kind of like adds a little bit something else to my game, because I count myself as an all-rounder, and that's what I want to be in any team.
I mean, the bowling's clearly paying off, Emma, all that hard work. 3 for 16, 4 for 13, 1 for 36. Like, you're putting in some really good results, and it's definitely paying off.
Yeah, I'm trying to be consistent with it. Because sometimes in the past I've been good some games, and then other games I've kind of let myself down a bit. But I think the only way I can prove myself as an all-rounder is to be as consistent as I can with like the bat and the ball. So yeah, I've definitely worked hard on it, and I'm hoping that it'll keep kind of going well for me.
Do you have any personal goals that you set yourself when you step into something like this, when you're playing with the best of the best? Do you kind of have a thought in your mind about what you want to achieve, or do you kind of very much stick to what the team's going through and what you're trying to work towards?
I actually think when I play my best cricket, it's when I'm thinking of the team. When I start thinking of individual, like what I need to do well and all that, then that's when I put too much pressure on myself, and that's when I don't perform very well. So I think when I'm thinking what I can do for the team and how we can win and win the competition, then that's when I play my best cricket. And also the main thing for me is to enjoy it. And that's also when I play my best cricket. Like this year, I've enjoyed it so much. Like it's been like the best season ever, like enjoyment-wise. And I kind of want to carry on doing that in the hundreds. And I don't want to put too much pressure on myself just because we're on TV. So yeah, they're my main goals. Not too like kind of specific. Kind of just like let it happen, not worry about things too much.
Well, you mentioned that Liz Lee is tough to bowl to. Are there any other batters that are tough to bowl to? Don't show any weakness. That's not what we want. But are there any batters that you're really excited to bowl to in this tournament? Is there anyone that you actually think, well, I'd love to get into that battle?
Yeah, there's literally like everyone in every team. Like there's always one or two of the best batters that I want to bowl at and kind of get out. But I don't want to say any names because it changes. It depends on who we're playing, I guess. Yeah. Obviously, I love the challenge. Like I do always. I literally take a new ball if I got given it, and I bowl at somebody who's on 80 just because I want to get them out, because that's what I want to do. I just want to do well. So I'm like, yeah, give me any opportunity I can. So yeah, if anyone's doing well, then I'd be happy to bowl at them because it's a challenge.
Finally, Emma, obviously we've talked about, I guess, how big an opportunity this is for women's cricket and for yourself and the team of the Manchester Originals. Did you ever think that there might just be somebody that's going to watch you bat in a game and might just be inspired, and they might think that I got inspired because of that Emma Lamb or because of the way Alex Hartley bowled that day? Do you guys ever think about the weight that you might hold? Because I remember being inspired by certain players when I was growing up, and I know like my sister, for example, gets very excited when the cricket's on when she sees some women's games, and she has a couple of players that she really likes. Do you ever think about the fact that there might be somebody that you are inspiring that you just wouldn't know about?
Yeah, I think about it. Yeah, definitely. I think it doesn't matter like how we perform sometimes. I think just playing on TV or in a professional setting, inspires lots of young girls to play cricket. I've already come up, like there's a few girls that I coach that I've heard stories like mutual friends that teach them at school saying that like I'm their inspiration, and it makes me like so happy to think that. Like it honestly makes me so happy, and I think that like that's one of like part of the job, and that's part of why I play and what I want to do. So yeah, I guess it's always on my mind, and I guess like if I had a daughter, it's something I'd want them to have an idol, and I definitely want them to have a female, sporting hero to look up to, not just a male hero. Because when I was younger, there wasn't as many professional cricketers around, especially just from what I play, like region. It was always like England cricketer, but now it's like anywhere, just because there's more professional female cricketers. So, but when I was younger, I looked up to Andrew Flintoff, and I never had like a female kind of inspiration. So I think it's really good that like there's more of that now.
Well, thank you so much, Emma, for joining us. It's been a real pleasure. Obviously, you'll be playing in the first ever Women's 100 game, which we're super excited for. So best of luck for that, and best of luck for the tournament, really.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, that was absolutely fantastic. That was really great. Me and Charlie both really enjoyed chatting to Emma. Obviously, she's absolutely lovely, but also just a fantastic cricketer who's really passionate about the game and just really lovely. So we had a really brilliant time chatting to her, and obviously we wish her the best for the tournament because I think she could be one of the breakout stars. Obviously, she'll be playing in the first ever game as well, and that's such a momentous occasion. So best of luck to Emma, and really fantastic to have her on. So thank you very much for listening to the podcast. That's a great player interview to start with, and we have got a few more players coming on. I won't tell you who they are just yet, but we've got some really exciting names to speak to, and hey, I think this could be really, really fun. So we're excited to be doing it. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Podcast100. We've got loads of clips there, loads of different stuff going on, so make sure to follow us there. And please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. We'd love to know what you think, and it would really help us out. So thank you very much for listening to the 100 podcast, and we'll speak to you next time.